See what's going on.
Ooh,
Hello,
live and
folks.
direct.
Hello. We are live. Welcome to what I would normally say. What's it? HoGaLe, I think we were saying.
Yeah.
But now it's Holy or Liho. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's good.
Because you will notice. So I've been frantically sort of like emailing Lady G, because like for some maybe she's not got the link, but you can see she's not with us right now, and I've been trying to kind of tinker around in the background and send her the link, and for some reason it's not even let's see, pasting. And I'm just giving it one last go here just to see, and hopefully she will join us. This time it sent the link, so we'll see if she
Yes,
will
I
join
just
us.
saw Lady G said she's on the phone.
Ah,
Okay. So I think that's what's happened. She's got an important call and she'll join us momentarily.
there we are. Okay, so she will join us. Well, as you can see, we have the wonderful Dr. Lena Rodriguez of Antipodean
Oh,
wit
well
and
done, Pip.
sharpness. There you go. There we go. And today we've got an interesting show for you guys today. So thank you all for joining. And now I was supposed to be doing this on my laptop, and my laptop just decided just to go completely blank when it came to StreamYard today. So I'm doing it from my phone. So I won't have quite the access and being able to click on and click off and all that kind of stuff as usual. But so I want to say a happy new year and Christmas. I hope everyone had a great Christmas, or those that don't celebrate Christmas had a great festive period. And Lena, before we start, I wanted to ask you how your Christmas was, and did you have an early arrangement with your sister? Did I get that right?
Yes, that's right. We had a pact in November. We said, let's do Christmas a week early, not tell anyone else. And we got the functional members of the family together and we had a secret Christmas, and it was brilliant.
Wow.
And then I just slept through the real deal. It was bliss.
Do you know what? That's quite a good idea.
It's a very good idea. I'd pass it on.
It's a really good one, because there are sometimes, I mean, I must admit, there are times when I have felt like in past years like a bit of a Christmas Grinch, believe it or not, folks. And so when Christmas one year was cancelled, I actually breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, I can chill out for once.
Absolutely.
But of course, this kind of thing has kind of carried on. But what I ended up doing with my family this year, we ended up having a karaoke Christmas. Now, I've got this thing.
How drunk were you all?
Well, do you know what? Oh, Lena, my family are not drinkers. Yeah, they're not drinkers per se.
Okay.
And in my rush to leave the house, I forgot my wine, gin, everything. I practically had a dry Christmas.
Oh,
Can you believe it?
What horror.
Torture of tortures. However, there's this little, and this isn't, I'm not affiliated with them or whatever, but there's this little entertainment system called Roxy, and you plug it in and it's got all tons of karaoke tunes, and we just went for it this year. So I was duetting with my big sister, my brother, and my other sister, and everything.
Fabulous.
Couldn't believe it. So to open up the show before we get into questions, and of course these will be a cold read as well for Lena, because she doesn't know what I'm going to ask her.
No idea.
And I just want to talk about the overall energies of 2022, because of course this is a show about that. So indulge me while I describe a little bit of astrology and the astrological cards that I have associated with these astrological movements. I thought you might like a bit of that. Okay, so the big deal really this year is Neptune and Jupiter. Neptune and Jupiter, with a bit of Venus flung in. So what is Jupiter? Jupiter is religion, laws, ideologies, expansions, philosophies, spirituality, all that stuff. Now, he is the ruler of Neptune in old money. He's the old money ruler. So there's that. Then you've got Neptune, planet of spirituality, who dissolves the boundaries between the three-dimensional world and the world beyond. He deals with talent, music, higher octave of Venus, beauty, but he also deals with gaslighting, delusions, oil, gas, fog, drink and drugs and pharmaceuticals, and all of that. Yeah, so that is that. And so what's happening on the 13th of April, Jupiter is going to go into sidereal Pisces. Now, remember, I do Vedic astrology, not tropical Western, because as we know, it's different. It's ahead. But on the 13th of Jupiter, he goes in. On the 13th of April, 2022, Jupiter goes into sidereal Pisces. Neptune follows on the 18th of April. They're traveling very close together. And then Venus arrives on the 27th of April. This is a big deal. Yeah, this is a big deal. All these three planets are strong in these signs. Jupiter is the natural ruler. Neptune is the co-ruler, the modern ruler of Pisces, deals with the sea and stuff like that. And Venus is exalted in this sign. So what can happen is there could be a huge truth, which I've said before, that could descend on the world around about this time. Jupiter is the planet of truth. Neptune is the planet of illusions and delusions. And spells are broken when gas planets, gas giants change sign. Yeah. When they change sign. So Neptune is a planet that once he's established, and now he's going to go into Pisces, and then he's going to retrograde out, and then he's going to go back in. But when he goes in, he's going to stay there for 14 years, folks. This is a big deal.
It is a big deal. Sorry, I've just got to stop you for a moment. This is Lady G. She had the link open on her phone, but you didn't see it, and she's waiting backstage. Oh, here we go.
Voila.
I've been
Lady G.
waiting for 5 minutes early before. I had the link open on my phone and you didn't see it.
Wow.
On my phone, the link was
it's
open.
Been a technical horror show one way and
another. My laptop was playing up. Well, I was just we're glad to see you. We're only just at the top of the show anyway, and I'm beginning just describing the astrological energies at play right now. So we've got the energy of Jupiter, Neptune, and then Venus, where she's exalted in the sign of Pisces, all playing out in April. And what does this mean? This can mean extraordinary levels of spirituality.
Expanding because of the
new Jupiter, because of the spirituality from Neptune and the exaltation of Venus. This is a great time for arts, intuition, psychic abilities, all of that stuff. However, the shadow of that is that delusions and illusions could go off the charts, and we could have sea level rise as well. So when this great truth emerges, we could have a lot of people escaping via drink or drugs, or going maybe even into alternate universes that have been created by a certain someone. And we'll be avoiding direct names as well, because as we know, there are these algorithms at work on this platform, and they listen in for certain keywords, and then before you know it, you're demonetized and whatnot. So we'll make allusions to, you can figure that out. So that's going on. So going back to the tarot to draw that in, I was thinking of the how the planets can be represented by tarot cards. In the mix is Chiron, the wounded healer. And so they're all going to be with him. So this is also a time for healing as well, but also maybe some people will be receiving wounds. But for Chiron, I've selected the Hermit card to describe that energy. Going within, withdrawing, researching. With Jupiter, with Neptune in Pisces, I'm thinking that as the Seven of Cups energy.
It's got to be cups with all of
illusions and delusions, but also water, etc. Jupiter I've associated with the Wheel of Fortune, which is considered a Jupiterian card anyway.
Brilliant. I totally
Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. And the nodes of the moon, which set fate and destiny for everyone around about mid-March. The energy's gonna change, everyone. Get ready. They're gonna move into sidereal Aries and sidereal Libra. So this is Aries is the sign of war, Libra is the sign of peace.
Yes.
So 1-7 axis, which is all about relationships. So for them, I'm saying I think the lovers symbolize that energy. Plus 2022 reduces down to a 6. So the numerological year of 2022 is a 6, and the lovers is the 6th card. So it means this year is defined by choices, profound and important,
and
possibly karmic choices and connections. It's all going to be about relationships, all of that kind of stuff. So, and you know, there'll be a bit of war and peace. Who knows what's going to happen with Russia and this, that, and the other. But I don't want to kind of shake it out, you know, drag this on for too long. So let's go. And I can always weave something else in because I want to also talk about mass delusions. But let's do a question first.
Oh, yes.
All right. So with, and welcome to everyone who's here. I can't see everyone because I'm sort of scrolling on the side of my phone, but there's lots of you. There's lots of you.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. And maybe the ladies could help read out as well if you can see a bit better than I can. Right.
Dina has said, lead with your heart. That's a good way of.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. Very much. A lot about intuition this year. A lot of intuition and watery energy. So question number 1, and this is coming from Mia P. Can we do a reading on the US Senate midterms? Now, obviously, we know this is like it's almost like an old penny, this one, isn't it? But it's so relevant.
And it's a big deal.
Big deal. Big deal. So let's do a pull on that. What do we see on the US Senate midterms? All right, Spirit.
Yes, George, I agree. Hogarth is very handsome.
I think it's the glasses, you know, it's the glasses.
Oh, the glasses, yeah.
But thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, so let's see.
Okay, the dreaded midterms.
The midterms, my God. You know what? Maybe they should start calling it Mordor, like they do from Lord of the Rings.
Yes, Mordor.
It's like the Eye of Sauron right now, isn't it? Just the midterms, my God. Middle Earth. Midterms. And how was your Christmas, Lady G? We were discussing Christmas, but I understand you were with the 4-legged friends, but how did it go for you?
Christmas was fine and New Year's was fine. I spent New Year's out here in the desert.
Wow.
And if you would have connected, I don't know why your phone didn't connect mine. I had, like I said, it was on the phone to do the thing today. And you would have seen, instead of what you're seeing here, you would have seen the beautiful desert scenery behind. So yeah, I don't know why it didn't connect.
I've got no idea either. And my laptop just refused. Like I was there backstage, but my camera wouldn't show up and the thing wouldn't show up. It was just still. And I was like, I've got to use my phone. So just one of those days. Oh, very
phone to phone, I guess.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, right. Okay. So this is the new year. Who wants to be the first of 2022 to cast their right? Lena's ready.
I'm ready. These are big cards. These are big cards because this is a very important event. It's not more important than 2024, but if they don't get it right in 22, everything's much more complicated and awful. So
absolutely up there. What do you have?
Well, I'm using the Japaridze deck. Chess. You can imagine the jostling for space leading into this. It's a war in the sense of a war between the parties, and it's fully like that, which is where the chess element comes in. So, you know, demonizing the other and doing all that stuff. Now, here come the big cards. The Tower and Death. Now,
wow.
don't panic, everybody. I think this is really important because things are not going to change and not going to improve unless there's a total revamp. Oh,
Yeah.
God, this camera. Sorry, I never get it right.
It's all backwards, yeah.
Yeah. So I think these side by side are telling us it's going to be the end of what used to pass as normal. It's got to be a brand new day.
Wow.
And this is the secret to coping with it all. And the answer to it is to rise above it, to rise above the fray and not stay in that conflicted energy.
The milieu.
And then once people have the big picture, it will unfold. So
Right.
it will not be comfortable, it will not be easy, but it has to be that dramatic for things to change.
It certainly seems. Lady G, are you ready to go?
Okay, I'm ready to go. We have, first thing out is about the Hierophant. They've got the keys, we have to have the right people to get in there that know what they're doing. The challenge is, again, new cycle, coming to the end of the old cycle.
Yeah, there we go.
And having a good, strong leader. So we have to connect somebody in a strong leader. And I also did something different this time too. We have the 6th house of sustainability with enjoying success, shedding light on things, and talking our truth. So we need to, we really need to get out there for midterms and get the right people in so that we can sustain democracy and continue forward with a strong leadership.
People have to act and be involved. Yeah,
they do. They do, and they've got to do it for that higher purpose as well. Because in the spring, when that very, very elevated energy starts coming in, I mean, the nodes will change in March, and there'll be almost feeling like a warlike atmosphere. But there will also want to be that element of reconciliation. But particularly April, we're going to have this. I want to say it's going to be like woo-woo wonderland in some certain sense. It's going to be so Pisces. So there's going to be a desire to achieve those higher ideals, but at the same time, there is also that threat and that danger of it being corrupted or being used for victimization as well. So we're in this very knife edge, the energies, the energies. And the cards that I've got, they're quite choppy cards. So get ready, folks. There we go. All right. So midterms. Yeah. Look at this. What comes up? 10 of Pentacles. There we are. And reversed. And we all know what this is as well. It's the only card that's got a whole generational family on it, from grandpa all the way down to the grandkids. However, this can also represent big money, corporate finances, entities, government as well, big infrastructure things. But look, it's reversed. So the way I want to kind of interpret that, if we look at what's been going on in Congress right now, it's like it's been in the upside down land, hasn't it? It's been closer to Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole, than being straight up, straightforward, and being about legacies and stuff. It's all mixed up. When we look here, I get what is this? The old 9 of Wands, isn't it? Yeah. So look, I've got the 9 of Wands reversed. Now, when it's the right way up, this is about perseverance in battlement. But when it's reversed, it can be a feeling of overwhelm. Isn't it? Don't you think, with all of this drama and brouhaha, with everything that's going on, I think people are feeling a bit exhausted.
They're totally exhausted. Yeah.
Feeling very exhausted and just like, when will this end, this maelstrom? But, there's more to come, because such is life. So here I've got the Queen of Wands, and here we are, Queen of Wands reversed. And this as we know, with the Queen of Wands the right way up, can be the energy of entrepreneurialism and a socialite, a very adept woman who's got great instincts there with her familiar. With this energy, it can almost carry the energy a bit of sabotage. There's gonna be a bit of sabotage going on in the midterms. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I guess you don't have to be a psychic to work that one out, but there it is, folks.
Yeah,
And
Marjorie Taylor Greene, I just flicked on her, and someone in the comments here, Dr. Liz, said, yeah, she's the Red Queen. She totally is.
yeah, because this can be also a spitefully natured woman, unfortunately. She can have a spiteful, sabotaging nature. So, you know, there we are. But look, there's another woman who's in the mix as well. So we got two douchebags instead of one. Anyway, but also as well, this can deal with what? This can deal with corruption. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles, when it's reversed, can also deal with corruption, dark money. So the outcome I've got, this is going to be a tricky navigation. There are so many forces at work interfering in these midterms, and it's just very important. I know maybe not the best message, but it's kind of true, isn't it? We can see it all.
It's like really the knife edge. It could go either way. It's just really at this point. Yeah.
And someone else commented, it's really important that the youth are engaged. The whole thing will unfold in their hands.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
They
Absolutely.
are the ones.
Absolutely.
And another comment here from Connie Brown. Indigenous people have been waiting 530 years. We have some hope now.
Wow.
Bless you, Connie.
Indeed. I mean, everyone, folks, and you guys will know this anyway. We really are in extraordinary times. The stakes are so high, and you can even see it in the astrology. Just so you know, folks, watch out for 1st of February. Wow. And February, end of Jan, early Feb, big stelliums in the sign of Capricorn. On the 1st of February, we're going to have 6 planets. 6 in the sign of Capricorn, which deals with government, distribution systems of all kinds. There's going to be revelations there as well. And we're also going to have snip over Biden's moon as well. I'm not saying any more than that. You know, there are some people that, you know, Spiritus Santos, etc. But I'm just saying, you know, we're going to see some very interesting stuff. Anyway, are we ready for the... Oh, and thank you so much for the donations as well. The donations just come in. Let me just see who's that. Oh, Edie, darling, thank you. And there was someone else who donated earlier as well. So are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go for the next one. All right, question number 2. Now, you always know I like to fling in a bit of internationale. Yeah? Oh, another donation. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you. So this question has come in from, I've got to say this carefully because I think it would sound a bit rude if I said it too quick. This is coming from Kiwi Canuck. Yeah? Ooh. Kiwi Canuck. Maybe she's one of yours, Lena, who's kind of
New Zealand.
Over. Yeah, New Zealand. There we are. Well, thank you for your question. So basically she's saying, what's China up to in the South Pacific? It's making Aussies and Kiwis nervous. I would say not just Aussies and Kiwis, anyone that's in the vicinity, you know, it seems. But let's read on that.
Well, while we're shuffling, I'll just give people a bit of a fill-in.
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Now, China has been quietly going around the world, all the continents, offering roads and schools and projects and stuff very cleverly, including the South Pacific.
Wow.
Now, Australia considers itself the sheriff of the South Pacific and behaves really badly.
Right. Okay.
New Zealand is much more compassionate, much more onto it. Australia, no. So we have extensive trade with China. So it does not make sense to poke the dragon in the eye. We've just offended the whole of the European Union by cancelling the submarines. I mean, China is a superpower. What is half a dozen submarines? They're going to cost us the earth, not be ready for 40 years. They're going to be obsolete on arrival. Submarines, they must be joking.
Yeah.
You know, they're having a laugh. Anyway, China is flexing its muscles in the South Pacific. What does this mean? Where will it go?
Well, I'm taking this opportunity for China to debut my new cat deck. Yeah, because we all know I've got oracles of dog. Now for
Oh,
this one, I'm
now,
going cats. Yeah, I think this is
meow.
a
Those
good
are
one.
fun decks. That one is a fun deck.
Edie, thank you so much. Well, Edie, I just want to check to make sure that you've not fallen asleep on your laptop, because you know you've given us some more donations here, but could there be the return button is stuck and she's like, oh my God, what's going on? But thank you. Right. All right. So now this is a brand new deck. I can, you know, when it even smells new,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
just images of
Are they
cats.
hard to shuffle, being new?
They're actually quite smooth to shuffle, but I can't do that kind of stuff just yet. In fact, let's have a go. Actually, let's see if I can actually do that. No, I think no. I'll just stick with what I was doing before. So, who would like to go on this one?
Lady G, there you go.
Ah, Lady G,
Oh my
right?
goodness. Okay.
China.
Well, we've got we've got the protection guardian, and we've got authority. They're trying to be the authoritarian as usual. And moving forward now, in this case, we don't have somebody writing in there, but so I think this is just them trying to push their stuff again, trying to secure their larger venue and more money and everything that they're doing. We have going into it, I think they're just trying to get people to back off. You know what I mean? They're trying to overrun them with their offers, because he wants to be the authoritarian. He wants to be big cheese. So it looks like they just keep pushing forward in what they're doing to become the world authority. You know,
Yeah.
not backing off, but we say, you know, with this as well, we have the protection guardian. You know, that people have to be aware of what's going on.
Interessante. Okay, Lena, what do you have as I'm looking at my cards trying to interpret the cat positions?
Okay, it kicks off here with this ace in the form of bats, and bats get a very bad rap, but they're interesting creatures. But they operate.
You picked a bat. Oh my God. Yeah, go on.
They're much happier at night. In other words, they're the ultimate stealth missile, right? So things are going on secretly. It's a work in progress. This is unfinished work, right? The painting's not finished.
Yeah.
They're aiming to keep going with this, with the Pacific and other places, right? This is the ace. They're pushing forward. And they're very strong. There's no doubt about it. You know, they leave the other old superpowers like the United States and the UK in the dust.
Yeah. I mean, we're just breadcrumbs in the UK.
Breadcrumbs.
We really
side
are.
note of history.
Yeah. Well, at least now.
But here's one that's very interesting to me. The last card was the Star card, which is always a beautiful card. But it also looks like a Pacific Wahine. And for me, having married into a Pacific Islander family, I've been very conscious over 30 years. People think of the Pacific as an ocean, as this uninhabited space. Yeah. No, it is home to Pacific Islanders, and the ocean is their highway, right? Yeah. And I think the fact they are so little, she's even on a little sort of island here, they're much more concerned about global warming. If you're on an island, you're really watching it closely.
Oh, absolutely.
Than China. In other words, I don't think China is that interested in the Pacific except as a strategic base. And islanders will go on as they've always gone on, living their lives as islanders, relating with other island groups. So I see it slightly differently than just a geopolitical issue. But they're certainly active.
Makes sense. One of the things that leapt out to me immediately was that your first card had a bat on it.
Yes. One couldn't help but notice.
Right. And if we think in terms of, Wuhan, whether it's markets, this, that, and the other, or is it laboratories and this, that, that was one of those things. And I saw that immediately. I was like, interessante. Well, okay. Well, what I've got is here I am debuting the cat deck, and my gosh, you get ready, ladies, for this.
All right.
So first off, what have I got? 9 of Swords. Yeah, that's how it looks. Like you see, this cat looks very uncomfortable. And of course, what is the 9 of Swords about? The 9 of Swords about is being up at night, being awake. One's mind is fraught with different things, and because for as much as we see the bravado and we see this confidence and this new assertion, shall we say, coming from China, there is also a lot of doubts, because they are also playing this balancing act with their own population, who are kind of chafing a little bit. Things aren't going so well in that housing market. Remember, you've got that thingamajig bank, I've forgotten the name of it, which is basically holding together a lot of China's real estate, which it makes up approximately 25% of the economy. If this bank goes kaput, we're going to see these ripple effects, not only in China, but around the world. So it's brave face, but at night, they are up at night and they are worrying about things, but they're keeping it, like that. What is the obstacle? Now, isn't this interesting? The Ace of, here we are, the Ace of Swords, which is about what? Truth. How could truth be an obstacle? But for China, it is. Yeah. That's all I'm saying, folks, for entertainment purposes only. So if we look here, so there's some kind of truth which is an obstacle for China, and I think there's the reality of these different things going on. Also, as well, it's rumored that China is hoarding grain. Yeah, they are holding back on grain, and some other countries are as well. So there could be something that they know that's going on, but truth, the revelation of this truth, is an obstacle to those plans. And maybe the truth is keeping certain people in leadership up at night. Yeah, must be something going on. When we look here, 6 of Pentacles, which of course is normally the card of childhood. And with this card here, you can see it's a whole pile of cats going on. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, anyway, it's a lot of cats. But the whole point is this. The 6 of Cups is about what? Nostalgia. Yeah, going back to a past where things were much better. So I think there's this element within, perhaps in the Chinese leadership, where there is this a nostalgia for the past, the way things were. Yeah, the way things were when life was simple, when we had total power. We didn't have to deal with all of this complexity that, of course, these elements of capitalism brings in, because it brings in what? Choice, consumerism, all of these things, competition. You have to start dealing with the outside world. And I think the regime is looking back to fonder times when, they had absolute power. And if we look here, they really aren't liking the way that the world is coming at them. Yeah. I think a lot of the leadership feels like this, like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Because the sticks are coming from all directions. So China's probably feeling very defensive right now about what it's doing. And also as well, think of all the sticks of criticism, because look what's happening in Hong Kong. Yeah. Where they're just dismantling every free media outlet. They've just closed down another one. Also as well, a lot of the people, quite a few people from Hong Kong have come to the UK for refuge. So we've actually got a lot of Hong Kongers here now who have basically left. Yeah. And just so you know, we've got just over 800 people with us right now, which is remarkable. So for the future here, 2 of Swords, China, as confident as it is, it's going to have to tread carefully, because there is, many countries now are saying, well, do we need to have this much manufacturing abroad? And well, there's this going on, that interest, people asking questions. So China is looking to make choices. But what I would say is, it's when we dovetail the first card and the last card, and we consider that the Ace of Swords is also, a sword card, the mind, they're thinking a lot about choices, what to do next, how far to go. And there's a little bit of tension and agony about what to do with behind closed doors. There you go.
Yes. And as Connie points out, the USA has a lot of debt to China. It brought her vast amounts of debt.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just comment quickly here.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said you would read on Ethiopia, Hogarth. So not to forget, we probably haven't got time today, but just make a note of Ethiopia.
Yeah, that's it. I remember, Ethiopia. Oh yeah, I was supposed to read on that. Sorry, it's been very busy. There's so much going on.
There's
so much drama going on. So there's that question there. Now, before we get to question number 3, please allow me a digression. Yeah, this is one of Lena. This is one of Lena's favorites, but this is a good one. Now, remember I was talking about that Neptune, how powerful Neptune would be because it's going to be in conjunction with Venus and Jupiter. So there's going to be a lot of woo-woo energy going on as well. A spell will be broken and potentially another one can be cast. And I wanted to talk, if we see here, can we see this image here? Yeah, where it looks like people dancing. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what I want to discuss, because Neptune deals with illusions and delusions, gaslighting, secrets, lies, all of that kind of stuff, which could also increase. So I want to talk about mass psychogenic illness. Have you heard of this? Basically, mass psychosis.
Yeah.
So here we are. So just to describe it here. So other names: mass hysteria, endemic hysteria, mass psychogenic illness, mass psychogenic disorder. And it also speciality of psychiatry and clinical psychology. But the symptoms: headaches, dizziness, nausea, abdominal pain, cough, fatigue, sore throat. Yeah. Risk factors: childhood or adolescence, or intense media coverage. And so it can deal with delusions and somatic symptom disorder. And one of the greatest example of this were the dancing plagues of the Middle Ages. Have you heard about these? Yeah.
Oh, no.
The dancing plagues of the Middle Ages. And basically, essentially what happened is they were tons of people that just caught this urge to dance. Yeah. And people would dance and dance and dance and laugh and cackle and dance till they danced themselves to death.
I don't want to discourage dancing here amongst our viewers.
So what is it called? So here we are. So the early study cases linked with epidemic hysteria are dancing manias of the Middle Ages, including St. John's dance and taranturism. These were supported by supposed to be associated with spirit possession and the bite of the tarantula. So those afflicted with dancing mania would dance in large groups, sometimes for weeks at a time.
Goodness.
The dancing was sometimes accompanied by stripping, howling, and making obscene gestures, or even reportedly laughing or crying to the point of death.
How extraordinary.
Right. So why am I sharing that story? The reason why I'm sharing that story is because it's to show just how bonkers human psychology can get.
And the collective psyche.
In the collective. Look at all of the cray-cray that is going on in the world. Doesn't it just seem like wacky races, or that we've fallen into the looking glass and we're in Alice in Wonderland? Yes. So I just wanted to share that, where, there's going to be a lot of strange things happening, particularly because we're under the nodes of the moon. So there we are. Okay, next question. I managed to get in my little psychosis thing, which we wanted to get in for weeks. Anyway, this has come in from B. Butler. So what does the global or even US force look like in regards to the Great Resignation? So in a way, that's almost kind of like two questions. I mean, do you think we should separate them or blend them together as an overall energy? What do you reckon?
What do you think, Lady Jean?
Yeah, I'm lost in the question itself.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
you decide, HoGaLe.
I have no idea where this is going.
No problem. Exactly, that's the point. A bit of a surprise.
The Great Resignation. What's that referring to?
What that is referring to, it's referring to what's recently been happening in the US, which is that since lockdown, people have begun to reflect upon their lives and they're deciding, I don't want to be part of this anymore. And they've been calling it the Great Resignation.
That Great Resignation. Got it.
Absolutely, because it's been in the multiple of millions. So maybe let's just read on it like that. What are the continued ripple effects? Yeah.
Because what happens too, as people have got less and less job security, right? So it's harder and harder. Conditions have got worse and worse over the last 40 years. Yeah. And if you have a scared workforce, you have a docile workforce. So people were scared to leave bad jobs in case they couldn't get another job, right? People were really panicked. And then COVID came and people were forced home, and that gave them a break in the treadmill, and they stood back by the millions. So, you know what? This is working poverty, the working poor.
Yeah.
Of America, the UK, Australia, everywhere else. It's a scandal.
Everywhere.
You even have the working homeless. There are people who are homeless who actually have jobs, but they can't afford a home.
My God. I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
So what is exactly our question?
All right. So, I think about the dynamism. What's the energy around this? People not going back.
Okay. What's the energy?
What's the energy around? Definitely. Yeah. The energy
around it.
Okay, what's the energy around? The energy around the Great Resignation.
It's a good question. Thank you for that question.
Yeah, very good question. Because as you correctly identify, Lena, this is a profound shift in the psychology, in particular of the American people. And when one takes inflation into account, it actually, by many statistics, it seems the American people have not had a pay rise for 40 years.
Yes, when you do the real figures. Yeah.
You do the real figures, no pay rise, which is utterly scandalous.
Yeah. And Australia used to be known in the 60s and 70s as a workers' paradise because everyone got 4 to 6 weeks annual leave in the most mundane jobs, sick leave, everything else. And now that's whittled away. So people have 6-hour contracts, 0-hour contracts. What's that? So the employer can just say, don't need you this week. I'll get back to you next week. Oh, here's 4 hours. You know, that's hopeless and abusive. It's abusive.
And that's corruption. That is just big corporate exploitation. Corruption. Absolutely.
And that's why I describe as that peak capitalism. You know, it's gone as far as it can milk people.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's represented by the sign of Capricorn as well, where we're also having all these stelliums, top-down structures. Okay, who's ready to go out of? All right, Lena, go for it.
Okay, I got the war card again, and I think it's not too over the top in the sense, but I think it's a culture war. It's not armed workers at, you know, the Amazon warehouse, although, you know, who knows, but it is war now in the sense that people aren't going to willingly go back. And it's a war to me on abusive workplaces. And so Amazon is the quintessential ultimate capitalist thing where he makes whatever he makes, $280 billion a year. He pays people badly. Yeah. They have to put up their hands to go to the bathroom. They
or pee in a bottle.
Either side of them on a workplace, you know, truly abusive. And I think that's the face of this war, right? Big employers. Then we have people juggling because much as they would like to not go back to abusive work, it's very hard, you know, to make ends meet. So there is that pull. There's the King of Swords here, and I think this might be someone, we shouldn't get too caught up in gender with the court cards. To me, this is more an Elizabeth Warren. Someone who can cut through, it's swords cutting through. Someone who can actually, like Bernie could also be this.
Bernie could. That's what I was feeling too, Bernie.
Yeah, right. Bernie, that ability to sum up what is so wrong with the system in 3 or 4 sentences. They need cut through. it will continue to be a balancing act. And unless employers come to the table, things might get more serious.
Wow.
In the form of a volcano.
Wow.
So go the mass resignation. But join together. Instead of 12 people here, 3 there, someone on their own, join together.
Yeah, absolutely. Lady G, what do you have?
What I got is, this is one of the transits, the climate of this is letting go. They're just, tired of it. We've got a lot of sorrow. People are in a lot of pain.
Yes.
And they've just had enough. They're just, I'm not going back like this. Okay. They're just laying off and not doing it because they want higher, better things. It's time for something much better. And then I pulled a oracle for that, and it's time to unlock the magic within. They need to stand up and say, we're not doing it unless you finally give us what we're worth.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And before I give my response, I want to just say a thank you to everyone who has joined us this evening. We're at, 931 now, or something like that.
Bless you.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot. I know there's been donations as well. Sorry, we weren't able to acknowledge all of them because there was a big flurry. Also as well, Diane's going to be with us on the 8th of January, so coming up as well.
Same time next week.
Same time next week, but of course, Lena, we need you back, darling.
Okay.
We need you back.
Sorry,
we need you back. So we'll negotiate and have you as a part of the mix because you've been wonderful contribution. Also as well, Lena has to go at you've got about 5 more minutes. Absolutely. So we'll do one more question. I'll try and be quick with that, and then we'll wrap up the show. As always, there's never enough time. It goes quick. Anyway, great resignation. Look at this. The Tower. So here we are, the Tower. I mean, this is a very obvious card, isn't it? But also as well, whenever a card is reversed, I say it's more internalized. What's happened is the lockdown has created an internal Tower moment for almost everyone on planet Earth, where the structures, the formal structures of their life came crashing down, and everyone was rummaging through the rubble and just going, you know what? I'm not sure if I like what I see, because the obstacle card here is the Moon, where things aren't clear. So what's happened is there's been an internal Tower moment. People have started to ask the questions that were lingering in the dark. Things that were at the back of people's minds have now come forward in the moonlight. This crab here, has come out of the water. And there's been quite a lot of howling at the moon, hasn't there, while we've been in this strange kind of place. The next card here, 10 of Swords, but 10 of Swords reverse. People have realized, oh my God, I've been screwed, backstabbed, sick and tired of this. And now they're trying to figure out ways to pull the swords out, to let them fall out. Because they're like, we're done, off. Here. This can actually, here we got the Death card. Now, this can also represent the employers. The employers are not wanting to let go of the old ways.
No, they're not.
They don't want to let go of the old ways. However, it has been the workers who have shown this courage, but they're still nervous. People are still nervous about their futures, and people's courage is being tested. And it's that difficulty as well, because we understand as well, when this card is reversed, it can also deal with bestial urges. So if I think of this in terms of like the energy of the employers, they're not wanting to give up their past ways because it suited their bestial and greedy urges. However, they could be underestimating the strength of the employees and what they intend to do with their lives going forward. So that's how I'm interpreting that one. There you go.
Great.
All right. So final question before we have to skedaddle. There's never enough time. So let's just see here. Okay, I'm going to give you a choice, ladies, of what you might want to cover. So there's one. Do you see the DOJ indicting Trump? Well, I wasn't supposed to say his name. Duck Larange. for entertainment purposes only. Do you see the DOJ indicting Duck Larange for a dereliction of duty, and if so, will he be charged, or shall we do a general overview for the world? Well, in a way, we've sort of done a bit of the overview for the world. I mean, do you want to end up on the Duck Larange?
Back to the nitty-gritty.
All right, let's go back. Let's do a Duck Larange. So will the DOJ essentially indict and charge him? Now, I've got question marks over this because, as you know, I've done charts on a certain someone that is the head person at the DOJ, and I didn't like what I saw. Yeah. Didn't like what I saw. There's a lot of dithering going on.
Right, here we go.
So, DOJ and Duck Larange. Will he be indicted and charged? DOJ and Duck Larange. What I said in one of my videos, I said this year he'll have the temperature turned up on him. He's going to have the sweats. He's going to feel like he's in a bit of a sauna. But I really see the shoes dropping in 2023. I know that seems like a long way away now.
From my own readings.
But, you know, the heat will go up. He'll sweat a bit. There'll be a few beads. But I'd be very surprised if there's the lock and clink, you know, if it happens in 2020. You never know. But I see 2023 from his chart, really kind of stuff coming down. Anyway. DOJ, Duck Larange. What's going on? DOJ and Duck Larange. DOJ. Larange.
All right. Shall I kick off? Because I'll give my reading. And sorry, Lady G, I normally wouldn't be this rushed.
Go ahead. Absolutely.
I have to meet someone on the way to the airport, so it's very tight here.
Be my guest.
So I think we're going to hear good news in the sense of, but legal stuff is so slow, but we're going to have some cause for celebration during 2022. We're going to think, yes. And like you say, he's going to feel that pressure then. But don't forget, it took 2 years for the Nixon stuff to play out. We're used to a very accelerated pace of things. So I agree with you totally. 2023 is much more. It's going to start in 2022. We're going to think, yes. But then it becomes less clear as the year goes on. This is the Five of Swords. It's not a particularly clear card here, but the traditional Five of Swords is he will fight and scrabble and scream and carry on as he goes. But I'm thrilled to report, ultimately, the Judgment card. So he will be judged. So I think that is going to be a 2-year process.
Yeah, I think so. It's just in terms of realism.
We're not going to see him in the orange jumpsuit and the handcuffs in 2022. 2023, bring it on.
His chart changes a lot in 2023. There's a lot that it's like the temperature being turned up and it rattles a little bit and everyone thinks, oh, but then it kind of goes a bit like that. And so then
don't think of it as a letdown, people. Just think of, okay, it's unfolding is the way to think about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And to a certain extent, sorry, I'll just spit out one more comment before I go. We are all very concerned about the DOJ and whether they're up to the job. But also, surely I speak for everyone, we say we don't care. So if the university in SDNY, if New York gets him first, we can live with that.
Yeah.
It might not be the terrible things he's done in other ways, but let's all pray on a daily basis, SDNY and DOJ. The DOJ might respond to more pressure from people. Expectation, lift the pressure, lift the expectations.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So I suppose, Lena, you have to dash. Do you have time to listen in, or are you going to? All right.
Thank you so much for having me. And Lady G, I'll see you next week too. Bye,
Absolutely.
everybody.
Perfect. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you
Thanks.
soon. We're getting you back. Yes, this isn't the last
Absolutely.
time.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic.
Ciao, trendsetters.
We'll see you soon. Ah, brilliant. It's always great having Lena on, isn't it? And getting those perspectives. So she sort of agrees with me, and you agree as well. We're going to see this sweating, and then it's going to go a bit, and then next year, then it's going to go, yeah. Then it will start to change. So he's still got a bit of wriggle room on his rope, shall we say? Lady G, what do you have as we sit at 981 of people joining us right now? Wow.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I still say he's going to be brought down ultimately on RICO charges through, his backdoor dealings with Russia, money laundering.
It's always the tax, money, yeah.
But as far as this one is concerned, we have the beginning card, solar calm, clarifying, clarification. So they're working on it. They are on the move, trying to get to the truth, charging forward. Of course, the challenge is he's ultimately worried about it. He's going to do whatever he can to slow everything down. They are, having the exchange. I think this feels like, the exchange of whatever they can get out of these people. They are working together on it. And ultimately, he is going to be tied up. Okay. So.
Right. Well, you're going to be very interested in my cards, because out of the 5 cards that I've picked, 4 are major arcana.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you believe it? 4 out of 5. He is in this real time of fate and big decisions. So look, first card I get for Duck L'Orange. Look at that. Oh dear. Wah, wah, wah. So ultimately, in the end, this is probably going to end in some kind of betrayal. Yeah, this is how he's feeling. He's feeling betrayed by everyone. Oh, nobody loves me. Nobody wants me. Blah, blah, blah. All of this kind of stuff. So he's feeling like an absolute heap. Yeah. Yeah. Now, what's his obstacle? Look at this, Emperor reverse. So when it's the right way up, this is a patriarch who knows what he's doing, got experience, and can lead the way and stuff like that. When it's reversed, this is the bullying, vindictive energy. Oh, I wonder who this is. Yeah. So it could be that Duck L'Orange is, he's feeling stabbed in the back, but it's because of the way that he's been. He's been a bully, and he's been lying, and he's been vindictive. Here, look, next major arcana card, Moon reversed. This can refer to mental illness. This, it's a tricky card at the best of times, but at least when it's the right way up, you know that there's secrets. When it's reversed, this can be real, it can mean mental illness, mental decline, sickness even as well. His health is probably, as you'll find, guys, as time goes along, it's a lot of pressure. If we look here, we've got the star, which we know can represent the best of America, but it also represents as well Duck L'Orange's narcissism, his egocentric nature. He always wants the spotlight on him, but again, when it's reversed, it can mean feeling dejected, feeling down, feeling like luck isn't on your side. You're losing your energy. You can't rejuvenate yourself. When it's the right way up, and
that's my card for Trump all the time, because he always says he's the star. So his big reversal is on its way.
Absolutely. And you can see here it is upside down, because this really does speak about him as well. And then when we look here, we got Temperance, but again, reversed. So here, when the card is the right way up, it's about balance, isn't it? And chemistry and things kind of working out. So obviously reverse is pretty much the opposite. He can't, at some point, his chemistry of luck will run out. It's starting to run out. It's like the engine sputtering, but at a certain time, particularly when Ketu becomes the driver in his Mahadasha, his Jupiter Mahadasha, that's when you're going to see the car go more off the road. So it's going to be a very interesting time for Duck L'Orange. Heat going up. I can't quite see him being locked up this year. That would be something utterly extraordinary. But 2023, as it goes on, I think that's much more possible. Right.
Exactly. Well, we can always hold out hope.
Indeed, we can hold out. We can hold out hope, and let's see what happens. We're under the Kala Sarpa Yoga until mid-April. You know, so we're in a time of fate and destiny. Lots of stuff is going to come out, folks. By the way, but we have it's an hour and 2 minutes already. So I just want to thank everyone for being here this evening. Fantastic. We've got almost 1,000 of you watching the show. Thank you to everyone who donated. I would have done more kind of call outs, but I can't see on my mobile phone. We of course will be back next week, so that's the 8th. So Dianne should be with us, and we look forward to having her on the show and hearing about all of her stuff. Lady G, of course, thank you so much for joining. And of course, we'll have a little post chat as well. And thanks again to everyone joining us. And we'll say goodbye for now and see you soon. Thanks so much, everyone. All right. Cheers.
New Year's. Bye.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.